How's it flying, guys? This is Lance Corporal Hawk 30, and I just got back from watching
Venom.
I liked this movie. I liked it. I've heard that critics have not been fans, but critics are just like a reference point for when you want to get really analytical in it. And I've watched my fair share of critics, mostly independent online critics. But critics aren't always reliable when it comes to the enjoyability of a movie. Because there are some movies where critics have not been very kind to it, yet I've still enjoyed. So, I'm not going to get into spoiler territory, but there are a few Easter eggs in there that I thought were really cleverly placed and make me excited for another one. I enjoyed this movie, bottom line. Now, I'm not coming into this with any kind of script, so, and again, I'm gonna keep this review spoiler-free. So what did I personally think as someone who, I like the Spider-Man franchise. I never did read the comics that much. I've mostly seen, the animated series that was in the 90s and Ultimate Spider-Man. And I gotta say, the spin that they take on this version of Venom is an interesting one, because Spider-Man is not in this film. That's not really spoilery, because that's been stated from the get-go. Spider-Man is not in this film. What is in this film is a lot of... It's a film that likes to have fun with itself, I feel. There are definitely dark and gruesome moments in there, at least for PG-13. But I feel like they did a really good job with what they had, with what they did. And as we've seen in the trailer, Eddie obviously can hear the symbiote in his head. So the trailers have already gotten that out of the way, so it's not really a spoiler that Eddie can hear Venom talking to him, and he can in turn respond to Venom. So I think the dynamic between the two is an interesting one. Their relationship is set up initially really out of necessity. Again, I will not, without going into spoilers, it's an interesting necessity to wherein they have to survive together. And there are ups and downs with them, mostly with Eddie coming to terms of what is inside him, of the symbiote within, that it not only is in his head, but in the rest of his body, partially controlling what he does. And then the progression of the relationship as it goes is one that someone would expect. Well, both what someone would expect and not at the same time. Me personally, if I had something stuck in my head like that, stuck in my body that could control myself, I would be scared. And Eddie does show that fear of being controlled, of not being able to control himself. And then comes the eventual acceptance and compromising between the two. The villain, well, he's kind of typical. He's kind of typical and he's kind of not. He's the typical villain in he wants to do whatever it takes to see his goal achieved. And he's not a typical villain in the fact that when we initially see him, his goal isn't, though the means by which he tries to attain that goal is indeed bad and very immoral, the end result he wants is something that, yeah, you can kind of see where he's getting at, but at the same time, we know the phrase, the ends do not justify the means. That's this character, that's the villain. The ends do not justify the means. In the fact that the actions he's taken are things that would be very unforgivable. Be very, very much not only frowned upon, but also with great consequence, should it ever become public. And the dynamic is because these two characters, Eddie and the main bad guy, don't really interact with one another that much. There's only a few instances where they interact at all. I would say less than 15 minutes total worth of the movie. And that's not too spoilery, I hope. But we see their characters. They of course show the characters. Mostly on Eddie, but it does show this other guy. And we learn some interesting things about the effects that the symbiotes have on somebody's body. Even with somebody that they have bonded with. Even with someone that they have perfectly bonded with, there are negative effects. Which I will not go into, but they exist. As far as a rating, I would give this probably an 8, personally. It's not a perfect film, far from it, but it's something that I personally enjoyed, and it had a lot of fun with itself. And turned out Venom was actually the one providing a lot of comedy. I won't say any lines, so as to avoid spoilers, but I enjoyed the comedic aspect that Venom brought along with the gruesome, along with the fear that Eddie felt at the thing inside of him. And just the other, oh, holy crap, he really doesn't know how to control himself in the early stages of their bonding. So, not going to go into any spoilers. Go watch the video yourselves if you're interested. I really did enjoy it, and I hope that everyone else who goes to see it will enjoy it themselves as well. Because this actually has me interested in a sequel should they ever make one, which it's looking like it's a possibility that they might make a sequel. And, again, without giving away spoilers, they have already set up the next villain. Watch the entire movie through, including through the credits. Alright, guys? And for those interested in watching Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, they show about 3 minutes worth of the movie in the after credits. I won't say what exactly scene is shown, but it's an interesting one. Anyways, what are your thoughts? To those who have seen the movie, let me know what you think. To those who are interested in seeing the movie, let me also know your thoughts. So spoilers will not be, as with this review, in the comments if anyone asks me what I think, what I thought of certain scenes, I will try not to be spoilery about it. And do not ask for spoilers, please, because I'm the kind of person, I don't necessarily like spoilers. Like, to me, it takes away the joy of the discovery of finding out, hey, this is what I think about this. This is what I think. Or, how am I going to react to this scene when it comes up? Or, I don't know what's going to happen. Anyways, this has been going on a few minutes already, so trying to wrap it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like if you enjoyed this review. Comment down below your thoughts and other such. Subscribe if you're new, and tap the bell to get notified anytime I upload a video. That way you don't miss any content from me, whether it be a reaction, gameplay, or other such as this review. This has been Lance Corporal Hawk 30, signing off.